Hi students, welcome to class. Dear students, today we are discussing the new lesson that is called as fractions and decimals. So we know that we already discussed in the 5th, 6th standard, we are discussing the fractions lesson and also decimals concepts. So this year also we have to discuss the fractions and decimal concepts. We know that fractions. So for example, I will take one chapati. Okay, chapati I will take. So first one chapati is there, correct? I will cut into the two pieces. I will cut equally two pieces. How many parts are becomes? Two parts are becomes, correct? How many parts I will cut it? Two parts I will cut it. Therefore 1 by 2. This is called as fraction. Suppose I will cut 4 parts. So one chapati is there. I will cut into the 4 part. So how many parts are become 4 part? Therefore 4 part. This is 1 by 4. How to read it the fraction? 1 by 4 or 1 upon 4. Correct? So this is called as fractions. So like this we have to learn the fractions concepts. In that fractions, for example, a by b is there. Or we have to take any specific fractions. 1 by 4 only have to take it. This example only have to take it. See, in the upside of the number, this is called as numerator and this is called as denominator. Okay, students? So, upside of the number we call it as the numerator and the downside of the call it as denominator. You have to keep in our mind. Now, in these fractions, so we have to learn the types of fractions. We know already in the last year classes also we have to learn it. What are the types of fractions, students? Yes? Yes, proper fractions, improper fractions and mixed fractions. See students, types of fractions. So first one is called as proper fraction. So what is the meaning of proper fractions? Second one, improper fraction. Improper fractions. And third one is mixed fraction. There are 3 types are there. So one is proper and another is improper and another one is mixed fractions. What do you mean about the proper fractions? For example, I will give it 1 by 3, 2 by 5 and 7 by 9 and then 3 by 8, etc. See, all these examples of the fractions, all these fractions, so you have to observe it, students. So denominator and the numerator you have to observe in the every fractions. See, the numerator is 1, denominator is 3. Here the numerator is 2, denominator is 5. Numerator is 7, denominator 9, numerator is 3 and denominator 8. In these fractions, all the denominator is greater than all the numerators. Is it right? Therefore, when the denominator are greater than the numerator, then this type of the fractions are called as proper fractions. The denominator is greater than the numerator. That's why we call it as proper fractions. Improper fractions means ulta. So here, for example, 7 by 3, 9 by 2, and then 11 by 3 or 4, anything, and then 13 by 7, etc. See students, in these examples, so numerator and the denominator, you have to observe here. So the numerator is greater than the denominator or denominator is smaller than the numerator. Is it right? Here denominator is bigger, here denominator is smaller. Therefore denominator is less than the numerator. When the denominator is less than or smaller than the numerator, then the type of the fractions are called as improper fractions. Have you got it? So next one, mixed fractions. What do you mean about mixed fractions? Very simple. I will give an example. First I will give the example. See, 2 is one of the whole number. Is it right? And 1 by 3. 2 is one of the whole number and 1 by 3 is what? Which type of fractions? Yes. 1 by 3 is a proper fractions and 2 is a whole number. Mixed means I will mix it 2 terms. What are the 2 terms? One is a whole number, another is a proper fraction. Then the type of fractions are called as, what is that? A mixed fractions. I will give another example. 3 1 2 by 5, 3 2 by 5, and then 1 1 by 5, so on. See students, in these examples, whole number plus proper fractions. When the mixed with the whole number and the proper fractions are called as mixed fractions. Mixed fractions is the fractions in which whole number along with the proper fractions, that is called as mixed fractions. Understood? So like this we have to learn the types of the fractions. Okay students? Next, equivalent fractions. Student. What? Equivalent fractions. What do you mean about equivalent fractions and how to find the equivalent fractions of the given fractions? What do you mean about equivalent? Equal, valent, value. A fractions having a equal values. So in that type of the fractions are called as equivalent fractions. See students, I will give an example. 1 by 2 is equal to 2 by 4 is equal to, and then 4 by 8, and then 12 by 24, so etc. So these are called as what? Equivalent fractions, because these all values is become equal. When, how? See students, 1 by 2 is nothing but 1 you have to divide it from 2. So 2 is not going, so therefore point we have to put 2 5s are 10, 0. Like that, we have to take this one, same 0.5 only it will come. The value of 1 by 2 is 0.5, and then 4 by 8 is also becoming 4 by what? 0.5. See, 4 I have to divide from 8, so 0 point put 0, 8 5s are 40, it becomes 0. Therefore, you can take any fractions, the values become equal. Therefore, then the type of fractions are called as equivalent fractions. Otherwise, 4 by 8 you have to take it. You have to simplify that. 2 2s are 2 4s are, and 2 1s are 2 2s are. What is the remaining? 1 by 2. So this is also 1 by 2. This is also 1 by 2. You have to simplify that. Then that simplification is becoming 1 by 2. Therefore, every fractions 1 by 2. These are the equivalent fractions of 1 by 2. Okay. So next one, how to find the equivalent fractions? Yes, finding the equivalent fractions. I will give one example. 3 by 5 is there. Write the any 4 equivalent fractions of 3 by 5. Any 4 equivalent, enough. Okay students, how? Very simple. 3 by 5 have to write it. We have to multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number. We can take any number, any positive number, you have to multiply by numerator and the denominator. Okay, I will take 2. Except 1. Okay students, 1 you have to don't take. So 2, you have to multiply the numerator and also multiply with the denominator. Okay. If you are taking 3 here, here also 3. If you have 100, here also 100. Okay, any one take you have to multiply by the same number. Now you have to multiply 3 2s are 6, 5 2s are 10. 6 by 10 is the equivalent fractions of 3 by 5. Okay, another one 3 by 5 input again 10. 4, we will write 4. So again I will write the 5. I will take 5. Any one number I have to take 5. 5 3s are how much? 15 by 5 5s are 25. 15 by 25. Again 3 by 5 into 10 you have to take. 10 by 10 it is equal to 10 3s are 30 by 10 5s are 50, 30 by 50, and then 3 by 5 into 4 you have to take. 4 by 4, 4 3s are 12, and then 4 5s are 20. So these are all equivalent fractions of 3 by 5. Understood? So likewise you have to find the equivalent fractions by the multiplication. This is by multiplication. Okay, by multiplication. But and also by division is also is there. By multiplication. By division is also is there. Two methods are there. One is by multiplication. You can take any fractions you have to multiply by the same number, numerator and denominator have to multiply by the same number, then the multiply numerator and the denominator, then the fractions are called as equivalent fractions of the given fractions. By the division, how you are finding the by divisions? But this method, it will not find every kinds of problems, every kinds of fractions. But this method, you can take any fractions, you have to find the any kinds of equivalent fractions of the by multiplication method. But this method is not applicable. See students, 24 upon 36 is there. 26 upon 36 is there. See, this is divided by, these two numbers are divided from same number. So I will take 2. It will going from 2 both numbers. Therefore, 2 how many is 24? 2 12s are 24. 2 1s are 2 2s are, and 2 30. 2 1s are 2. See, 2 1s are 2. Remaining is 1. 16 become 2 8s are 16. So 12 by 18 is become. Again 24 by 36. We have to divide it from 3. Is it going from 3 or not? If this number is going from 3, this number is not going from 3, means you don't take 3. Okay, both numbers have to multiply the same number. So these two numbers you have to divide from 3. Is equal to 3 8s are 24, 3 1s are 3, 3 2s are 6, 8 by 12, and then 24 whole upon 36. It is equal to, sorry, divided by, I will take that 4. Is it going from 4? Yes, it's going from 4. 4 6 are 24, and 4 9s are 36. Again 24 by 36 is divisible by 6. You have to take it 6. How many are 6? 4s are 24, and 6 6 are 36. Again 24 by 36. You have to divide it from 12 by 12. 12 how many are? 12 2s are 24, and 12 3s are 36. So these are all called as what? Equivalent fractions of 24 by 36. But this method, this by the division method, you can't apply for the every kinds of fractions. For example, see students, 23 by 35 is there. You don't apply that by the division method, because 23 and 35, these two numbers are not divisible by the same number. In that's why you have to use the by multiplication. You have to multiply by 23 and 35 by the same number. You will get the many kinds of what? Equivalent fractions. Okay. So that's why you have to don't take it as by the division for the whole fractions. Are you understood how to find the equivalent fractions by the multiplication and by the division? Okay. Now, next concept, comparison of fractions. Comparison of fraction. See students, in that there are 3 cases are there. I will show it one by one. So case number 1, I will show case number 1. That means, so one type is there and 3 types are there. So in that case number 1, what? When denominator are same. Denominator are same. When the denominator are same, then you have to use this method. What is the method? I will take one of the example. 3 by 5, 1 by 5, and then 4 by 5 is there. 3 by 5, 1 by 5, and 4 by 5. You have to write the what? Ascending order or descending order. Anyone you have to write. First, I will take ascending order. I will write. Okay, students? Yes. Do you know the ascending order? Yes. Small to big. We know already. Yes. When the denominator are same, what I given the statement? When denominator are same, how to compare the fractions when denominator are same? In these fractions, which is smaller and which is bigger? Correct? So, for example, 23 and 34 is there. So, what are the bigger number? 34 is bigger than the 23. Easily we have to find this number. But fractions, not like that. See students, 3 by 5 and 1 by 5 and 4 by 5. Okay. In that, when the denominator are same, see the numerator. When the denominator are same, you have to see the numerator. which numerator is a smaller, that fractions is a smaller. So what are the numerator? 3 is there, here 1 is there, here 4 is there. In among these numerator, which is a smaller numerator? 1 is a smaller numerator. Therefore, this fractions is a smaller. Which numerator is a smaller? That fractions is a smaller. Which numerator is a bigger? That fractions is a bigger fractions. In that, which numerator is a smaller? 1 is the smaller numerator. In the related fractions is what? 1 by 5. Therefore, 1 by 5 is what? Smaller fractions. So, 1 by 5 is a smaller than next. Afterwards, 3 by 5. Now we have to find it. Afterwards, 4 by 5. Okay. So, when the denominator are same, which numerator is smaller, which numerator are smaller, that fractions is smaller. That fraction is smaller, and vice versa. Vice versa means ulta. I mean, which numerator is smaller, that fractions is a smaller. Which numerator is bigger, that fractions is a bigger. Understood? That's why 1 by 5 is smaller than 3 by 5 is smaller than, this is smaller than 3 by 5 is smaller than 4 by 5. If you are in descending order, ulta. 4 by 5 is greater than 3 by 5 is greater than 1 by 5. Okay. So I will take case 2. Have you understood the case 1? Okay. I will take another example. Can I take another example? See. 2 by 9, 7 by 9 and 1 by 9 is there, and another one 4 by 9. I will take 4 examples. See, I will write descending order. Descending means big to small. So which is the bigger numerator? Here numerator denominator are same. So we have to find the first, we have to start from bigger numerator. So bigger numerator, what is the bigger numerator here? 7 is the bigger numerator, therefore 7 by 9 is a bigger fractions. Afterwards, 7 after 4, 4 by 9. Afterwards, 2 by 9. Afterwards, 1 by 9. 7 by 9 is greater than 4 by 9, 4 by 9 is greater than 2 by 9, 2 by 9 is greater than 1 by 9. So like this, we have to compare the fractions. By the case number 1, when the denominator are same. When the denominator are same, depend upon the numerator. Which numerator is smaller, that fractions is smaller. Which denominator is smaller, which numerator is bigger, that fractions is bigger fractions. Are you understood? Yes. Shall we go to the next one? Yes, 2. Case 2. When numerator are same, here denominator are same, here numerator are same. When the numerator are same, how you have compare the fractions? Yes, I will take one of the example. 1 by 8, 1 by 5, 1 by 4, enough. Okay, one of the example I will take it. Here numerator are same. Okay, when the numerator are same, depend upon the denominator. In that case number 1, denominator are same, you have to depend on numerator. We have to see the numerator. Here numerator are same, you have to see the denominator. So in there, which is a smaller, that is a smaller fractions. Which is a bigger, that is a bigger fraction. But here, not like that. Which is a smaller denominator, depend upon the numerator. Which is a smaller numerator here? 4 is the smaller numerator, but 1 by 4 is a bigger fractions. Which denominator is a smaller, that fractions is a bigger. Okay. Descending order, if you want to write the descending order, we have to start from the what? Highest, bigger fractions. So here, smaller denominator, bigger fractions. When the numerator are same, depend upon the denominator. In which numerator is a smaller, that fractions is a what? Bigger fractions. Ulta here, idರಲ್ಲಿ smaller ಇದ್ರೆ smaller, bigger ಇದ್ರೆ bigger. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಂಗಲ್ಲ, smaller ಇದ್ರೆ bigger, bigger ಇದ್ರೆ smaller. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ smaller denominator ಇದೆ. So 1 by 4 is a bigger fractions. Therefore 1 by 4 is bigger or greater than. After 5, 1 by 5 is a greater than 1 by 8. Are you understood? So very simple. When the numerator are same, see the denominator, which denominator are smaller, that fraction is bigger and vice versa. Okay, ulta. So which denominator is smaller, that fraction is a bigger. Which denominator is a bigger, that fraction is a smaller. Ulta. Okay, but here not like that. In the case number 1, which is a numerator is a smaller, that fraction is a smaller. Which numerator is bigger, that fraction is a bigger. In this case number 2, smaller means bigger, bigger means smaller. Are you understood? Very simple. I will take another example. 2 by 9, 2 by 6, 2 by 11, 2 by 5 is there. I will write the ascending order. Smaller fractions, we want to start from smaller fractions. So here, smaller, if you want the smaller fractions, you have to find the bigger denominator. Bigger denominator, where is the bigger denominator? 9 is there, 11 is there. So here the bigger denominator. Therefore, when the denominator are greater, that fractions is a smaller. 2 by 11 is a smaller. Then afterwards 2 by 9. Afterwards 2 by 6. Afterwards 2 by 5. So very simple. So like this, you have to learn the comparison of the fractions. Another case is there, case number 3. We'll go to the case number 3. What? Here numerator, denominator are same in the case number 1. In the case number 2, numerator are same. Case number 3, numerator and denominator are unequal. So different numerator numerator and denominator are not same or unequal. Okay. So for example, so when you are giving this kind of questions, so you have to use this method. What? 1 by 4 and 3 by 8, and then 1 by 2. You have to take it. Okay. Now I will write the ascending order. So but here otherwise I have to take 3 by 2. Sorry, 5 have to take 5 by 2, because 1, 3, 5 have to give the different denominator, different numerator. That's why. Okay. Here all the numerator are unequal, all the denominator is also unequal. How we are doing these kinds of problems? Very simple. When the denominator are unequal, we have to take out the LCM for the denominator. Okay. So 4, 8, 2, we have to take out the LCM first. 4, 8 and 2. You know that how to find the LCM. These numbers, do you going from 2 any number? Yes. Directly run through all numbers. 2 2s are 4, 2 4s are 8 and 2 1s are 2. Again, is it going from 2 any number? Again, you have to write that 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4 and 1 as it is. Again, going from 2, 1 as it is, 1s are 1 as it is. So what is the remaining LCM? It is equal to 2 into 2 into 2, it becomes 8. Therefore, LCM is 8. Now, this denominator we have to make it the equal. We have what it become LCM? 8. Now, this LCM have to apply here. 1 by 4 I will write first into 8 by 8 you have to write it. So next 4 and 8 have to divide it. This 8 you have to keep on this side only. 4 1s are 4 2s are 2 1 2 1 2 8 into 1 8 2 by 8 will become 1 by 4 is become 2 by 8. 3 by 8 to take it. 3 by 8 into 8 by 8. It is equal to, so 8 you don't take the 8 and 8, this 8 and this 8 it cancel, 1s are remaining, 3 1s are 3 by 8 1s are 8, 3 by 8. So finally 5 by 2, it is 5 by 2 into again 8 by 8. So 2 1s are 2 4s are 8. So 8 you don't take the 8. 4 into 1, 4 5s are 20. This is 1. 4 5s are 20. 8 1s are 8. 20 by 8. Now see students, 2 by 8, 3 by 8 and 20 by 8 is there. So all the denominators equal. when the denominator are equal, easily we have to find the which fractions is a smaller and which fractions is a bigger. So I will write the ascending order. So here which numerator is smaller? 2, 3, 20 is there. 2 is the smaller. So therefore 2 by 8 is smaller than 3 by 8 is smaller than 20 by 8. Okay. So in that original fractions you have to write. 2 by 8 original fractions is what? 1 by 4 is less than 3 by 8 original fractions 3 by 8 as it is into and then 5 by 2. Sorry, smaller than 5 by 2. So like this is the ascending order. So like this, numerator and the denominator are unequal or not same. So then you have to apply this rule. Okay. I will show the one more example. See students. 3 by 10, 1 by 50, and then 4 by 2 by 5. Okay, 3 fractions are there. Here, denominator also and numerator is also unequal. Denominator unequal, numerator is also unequal. So now, when the denominator are unequal, we have to take out the LCM. 10, 15 and 5. So these numbers we have to get from 5. 5 2s are, 5 3s are, 1 as it is. So next this number 2 1 as it is, 3 as it is written, 1 as it is. 3 1 as it is, 1s are, 1s are. So we have 5 into 2 into 3. So this is 3. 5 to the 10, 10 to the 30 into LCM. This LCM have to apply here one by one. See, 3 by 10 I will take into that LCM have to apply here 30 by 30. It is equal to this number have to don't touch it. So 10 ones are 10, 3s are. You have to divide it. 3 into 3, 9 by 30. Okay, next 1 by 15 you have to take it. 1 by 15 into again 30 by 30. So don't touch it. 15 ones are 15, 2s are 2 into 1, 2 by 30, and then 2 by 5 into 30 by 30. So 5 ones are 5, 6 are, so 6 2s are 12, 30 as it is. Now 9 by 30, 2 by 30 and 12 by 30. So I will write the ascending order and descending order. So ascending order, if you want ascending order, you have to write the smaller fractions. Smaller means 2 by 30. Okay, smaller than 9 by 30. Smaller than 12 by 30. So now you have to write the original fractions. 2 by 30 original fractions is 1 by 50. 1 by 50 is smaller than 9 by 30 is a original fractions is 3 by 30 is smaller than 12 by 30 is a original fraction is 2 by 5. So like this we have to find the comparisons of the fractions in the case number 3. When the case number 3 what? Numerator and denominator are not same or unequal. Are you understood? So like this you have to find the comparisons of fractions. Okay students? Yes. In the next class students we have to discussing the additions and subtractions of fractions. Okay? Thank you.